a work of fiction based on fact, Paddle to the Sea, tracing the St. Lawrence Seaway from the Nipigon River to the Atlantic Ocean. The author, Clancy Halling, toured the Nipigon area and talked to locals in 1939. Buzz Lines always placed the little boy around Parmachene. While the National Film Board movie by director Mason wasn't actually filmed here, his daughter did present the Nipigon Historical Museum with this still of Paddle from the movie. She says he used many paddles in the process of filming. Most had strings attached so they could be retrieved from the fast water and other perils. Many elementary classes, both in Canada and the USA, study Paddle to the Sea. Some get more involved than others. In 1999, a grade 5 class from Waterford, Michigan, actually carved their own paddles. Then they teamed up with the St. Edward's grade 5 class to have their paddles launched into the Nipigon River. A great Morning Star adventure. 2 of those canoes were found over the years with their names worn off, but I knew where they came from, so we kept them for the museum display, so their story could be told, a real fact to go with the fiction. This whole display started to come together after the fire, the museum fire of February 11, 1990, when a little boy from Ohio area created a Paddle to the Sea little canoe as his father-son grade 2 project. His Paddle 2 had a wonderful copper keel and his name and address etched in it. This was a very serious project for that family. The father contacted the Thunder Bay Museum, who suggested he throw it in the Silver Island to miss all the islands in the Nipigon Bay. Fortunately, the father held out for authenticity, and he was given our place of work number. If nothing else, the disastrous fire of the year before made us known in museum circles. So it was with great surprise one day in early June 1991 that I was called to the office to answer a phone call from Ohio. I sent the family a package of local brochures and maps. The youngsters wanted an indoor pool, so they planned on staying overnight in Thunder Bay. The day of arrival arrived. I met them on Front Street, and they followed me past the cemetery to park under the railway bridge, where we were joined by Roland, Director-Curator, and Elvie Schwazla. Roland has a very strong voice, so the father wanted him to read from Paddle to the Sea, as he filmed his son putting his Paddle to the Sea into the Nipigon River while his mother and sister watched. So Paddle to the Sea was released and promptly just sat in a back eddy pool. With some scrambling, the little canoe was retrieved. After a short family conference over the best way to get it into the current, Scott ended up giving it a mighty throw, and the river caught it, and the little Paddle to the Sea was on its way. There was a little sadness at the parting. We drove to the marina and tried to espy it with binoculars out in the far current. The day was still young, so they followed me home to visit the Brill sawmill. You will recall that Paddle had a very traumatic time with a sawmill. For lunch, they went to the Husky House restaurant so the kids could watch the big trucks while they ate. I met up with them there, bringing the Beardmore relic Viking sword replica that had survived the fire. I'm not sure just how impressed a grade 2 boy could become, but when I visited Scott some years later, he had a forge in his backyard and was making swords. I do think he was more influenced by that TV show where there could be only one. Maybe? Anyways, he was still at an age we could go out and catch fireflies, and more thrilled to go to the Natural Science Museum than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I was a little torn, but there was time for only one, as I had a Sandusky ferry to catch. We exchanged Christmas cards for many years. One cute memory of their trip to Nipigon was when flying home, Scott's sister said she could sea paddle in Lake Superior already. Scott's father laughed. At the height he was flying, those great lake freighters looked just like little canoes on the great blue water of Lake Superior.
Nipigon River. Okay. They diverted the river when they made the causeway. You'll see the causeway when you're down at the waterfront. Yeah. And yeah, for this train track that runs right along the bottom here.
Again, it was what?
1885 was the first wooden trestle for the railway going across the Nipigon River, going from east to west to meet the westward sea to tracks. The stone that's used now in these pillars was quarried from the quarries out on the highlands. Our highway bridge that's here, the original ones that you can just see part of the empty bridging part, that was in 1937 that it was built. And this is a new one that they built just a few years back.
So when it's upside down the water.
Now they're planning to build us another one of those bridges to double to make it a 2-lane or a 4-lane highway. So we'll have 3 bridges across the river.
Closet, Curator, Director of the Nipigon Historical Museum. I made you, paddle person, because I had a dream. A little wooden man smiled at me. He sat in a canoe on a snowbank on this hill. Now the dream has begun to come true. The sun spirit will look down at the snow. The snow will melt, and the water will run downhill to the river, on down to the Great Lake, down again, and on at last to the sea. We will go with the water, and you will have adventures that I would like to have. But I cannot go with you, because I have to help my father with the traps. The time has come for you to sit on this snowbank and wait for the sun spirit to set you free. Then you will be a real paddle person, a real paddle to the sea.
Oh, you have started your journey. You paddle to the sea.
Well,
You can move them off.
yeah, you can give him a little lift because he's got some stones he's got to. Just give him a little nudge. Once he gets by that stone, he's on.
Oh, you have started your journey. You are truly a paddle person. Paddle to the sea. Goodbye.
Get to see a flow under. I mean, go.
Symbolically took another look around. Took another look around.
He took a look back at us, Scott. I'll need to take it out here and toss him back if you're okay. Goodbye, paddle person. We're looking back on the bridge that we let paddle go over. Now we're scanning the waters that paddle shortly will be coming down.
Pretty fast turn all the way down to there.
Buddy Brill's checking some of the areas where paddle might be. And somewhere in these waters, paddle is on his journey to the sea. Good luck, paddle.